What is going on, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to break down a new study that further shows that intermittent fasting is making you healthier. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and break this study down, and just so that you know, it is a meta-analysis study. So that means that it is many different studies from Ramadan, from alternate day fasting, from 16-hour fasting. It is taken from a lot of different studies, but it is extrapolating the results of the lipid profile throughout all of those studies to see if the HDL cholesterol increased or the LDL cholesterol decreased, as well as just your cholesterol overall and triglycerides. They also looked at the body weight composition and body fat, if it decreased or increased. Just so that you know, this is compiled of both men and women, some of which was taken from Ramadan studies, others which were not taken from Ramadan studies, which were just simply 16-hour fasting or alternate day fasting. And the results of this meta-analysis study was absolutely fantastic. Nearly across the board, with all the different ways that you could have fasted, or all the different setups, the 16-hour fasting, the alternate day fasting, the Ramadan fasting with restricting water, all produced very good numbers. The HDL increase, which is the high density lipoprotein, and that's the good cholesterol. That's the cholesterol that you want in your body, because that cholesterol actually helps defeat all the bad cholesterol that you have in your body. So the more HDL you have in your system, the better it is for you cholesterol wise. So I know a lot of people like to say, well, HDL doesn't really do anything. It actually does. It helps regulate your body and control cholesterols that come from the bad cholesterol. Perfect example is the low density lipoprotein. The more of that you have, the worse off you are. That comes with higher risk for disease, clogged artery, heart disease. That was shown to actually decrease at a significantly high rate through this study. So this is implementing intermittent fasting, showing HDL increasing and LDLs decreasing. Through this study, they also show that cholesterol overall decreased almost across the board. With all the different studies and all the different types of fasting, they showed across the board that also cholesterol itself decreased. This even looked into the triglyceride levels, and those also decreased across the board. And having your triglyceride levels decrease is extremely important, because those are your natural fats and oils that, if they are at a high level, can actually cause you to have a stroke. So it is important to keep those triglyceride levels down, which this study showed that intermittent fasting was doing effectively. Now, I do want to touch on something specific to this study. A lot of them were observational. Now, some of them were non-randomized controlled trials, which means that they knew the exact macronutrients they were taking in, the exact calorie intake that they were taking, as well as their fasting periods and their fed periods. When it is observational, it is simply looking at the participant of the study and observing them in their normal life, so they are not really interjecting when it comes to the actual macronutrients and the calories. But even though most of what was extrapolated from this meta-analysis is observational, it still kind of went in line with the non-randomized controlled trial. Both of them were still very positive for intermittent fasting. And another thing that I want to touch on with this study is that it appears that the longer you fast, the better it is for you. There are some of the protocols that you can see, 12-hour fasting, which is very short, which is basically 12 hours of fasting and 12 hours of eating, so half and half. That is extremely short, and you can see that those tend to not have much of a positive or significant change, some of which show no change at all. And this is because of previous studies that have pushed that the more you fast, the further you go into your fast, the better it is for you in terms of continuously pushing all those health benefits and also pushing to burn the body fat. Since of course your insulin is at baseline and your HGH is increasing, all of that pushes you to burn more body fat. So personally, I don't really appreciate them doing a 12-hour fasting with a 12-hour eating window, but it's in there and it is technically fasting, just not a long enough fast for it to be really effective in my opinion. But since it's in there, it's part of the overall numbers. They also looked at body fat reduction, and it was also a significant change in body fat reduction. Now keep in mind, this was not taken and compared to someone who does caloric restriction, for example, or compared to someone who does any other specific diet, anything with like a specific macronutrient or a keto diet or anything like that. It was simply looking at if intermittent fasting helps or assists in improving your lipid profile. And I'm happy to say that basically all of that was confirmed through this meta-analysis. Now understand that this meta-analysis is not a new trial. It is simply extrapolating all these different studies, about 60 of them, and they all came to this same conclusion that yes, your HDL does go up to assist you in releasing bad cholesterol from your body. Yes, your bad cholesterol, the LDL, the low density lipoprotein, did decrease, which increases your ability to be more healthier, to avoid clogged arteries, heart attack, stroke. All those things are become much more avoidable the less LDL you have in your body. Total cholesterol in your body decreased because of intermittent fasting as well. Body fat mass and body fat percentage overall also decreased. So the reason I wanted to present this meta-analysis to you guys is because 60 extrapolated studies is pretty decent. Within those studies, there are multiple participants. Some studies have 60 participants, some studies have 100 participants, but it's all put together in this huge mathematical breakdown, and that mathematical breakdown shows a positive direction into intermittent fasting. As these studies continue to come out, I will continue to talk about the studies as it keeps pushing us further and further forward, showing that intermittent fasting is one of the best viable options out there when it comes to not just weight loss, but also health as well. So people that already have lost the weight that they wanted to lose still stick to intermittent fasting as a lifestyle. Even though people tell you, hey, nothing should be a lifestyle. Don't do things as a lifestyle. Just do things to reach a specific goal, and that's it. But your specific goal should be to be healthy as long as possible, as much as you can. So if you just look at intermittent fasting like you look at every other diet and you just focus on just using it for weight loss and then decide, hey, I just want to lose weight and then go back to doing what I was doing before. First of all, it's going to make you gain whatever weight you gained before, because you're going to go back to what had you at that weight to begin with. But second of all, you're not going to be as healthy. Intermittent fasting is extremely healthy. There's so many health factors that come in to play when it comes to intermittent fasting, because you're allowing your body to rest. All of these HDL increase, LDL decrease, triglyceride decrease, total cholesterol decrease, body fat reduction, all of that that's explained in these studies comes from the fact that you are giving your body that ability to reconstruct itself, to regenerate certain cells in your body, to allow your liver, your pancreas, your lungs, your stomach, your intestines to rest. And when they don't have to work on digesting food or breaking nutrients or moving things around, they can focus on the self-repair. And all of these are residual effects of that self-repair. So I will have the link to the study down in the description below. I just wanted to touch on this because I wanted you guys to see that intermittent fasting is much more than just weight loss. The weight loss aspect of intermittent fasting is absolutely fantastic, but the health aspect is just as important, if not even more important. It's great to look good, but it's even better to feel good and actually be healthy at the same time. Don't listen to anybody that tells you don't do intermittent fasting as a lifetime thing. Just use it to lose weight, because those people are putting intermittent fasting in a small little box, and that little box that they're putting intermittent fasting in is just a tool for weight loss. But intermittent fasting is much more than that. It is also a tool for a much healthier lifestyle. And trust me, it doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter if you eat the most healthiest things in the world. The process of breaking down food puts stress and strain on your body. Breaking the foods down, spewing acid in your stomach to break food down, to digest food, to push it through your intestines. That process keeps your body and keeps those specific organs from working on themselves, from resting and repairing. It's almost like if you were working out and all you do is work out. You just work out, you barely rest. You rest for a little bit, but then you go right back at it and you start working out and you start working out. Anyone can tell you that you don't build the muscle from moments that you're working out. You build the muscle from the moments that you're resting, that your body can start doing that self repair, that self-build. Everything inside your body needs to rest. And basically the only way to let them rest is by not consuming food at all. So I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for another FAQ. Peace!